As the title suggests, I've been thinking about buying real estate in Italy. I started, I think it's 2 years ago, to look for properties. And I love the idea of owning assets all over the world. And as of today, I have real estate in Sweden and in America. I would like to add a few condos or so in Southern Europe as well. My first thing that I want to share with you is the homepage that I use to learn about real estate markets. It trumps everything out there. Global Property Guide. About Italy. House prices are a two-sided coin. If you are a buyer, you want them to fall. If you are an owner, you want them to rise. Very clever. So buyers in Italy will be happy that those house prices have been declining for more than 7 years, dropping 16%. The problem is, with all this, that I also want to buy one of these.
Alright, this is it. This will be the maiden voyage of the DJI Phantom 4 drone. For those of you not in the know, this is like the latest and greatest in drone technology.
Tomorrow, we're flying to Rome, and then we're spending about 10-15 days in Italy. I'm gonna go check out some real estate, or buy a drone. Time to get packing. Welcome to Rome in Italy, where there currently is approximately 50,000 homes for sale, according to idealista.it. A bit of a ledge at the end. Well, of course I bought the drone. We've been asking around, and a big reason for the 7 years of declining prices is probably due to poor government in general. The problem with Italy is that they don't even have elections, they just have a government that runs its own show. Even though the national government aren't having elections, there are different elections for every city and different governments for every city. Here in the city of Rome, they just had an election and they got a new leader, and that is the first small glimpse of hope in their political system, because they have a new young lady, I think she was 36 years old or something, called Virginia, and she's apparently there with one ambition, and that is to change the system and work for the people. So if we're lucky, that is the start of a bigger change, where they get a good government in Rome that's working for the people, and then other cities around start going the same way, and eventually they might be able to push away the government running the country. So what have all this government stuff got to do with real estate here in Italy? Well, if the government runs the country like poop, you get a decline, which you've had the last 7 years. So since 2008, they've never gotten back on their feet, they just kept going down. And if we are to buy in, it needs to look as if something is going to change and get better. So if it keeps changing around Rome like it did in Rome, we might see a change in the whole economy, like whole Italian economy, which would be great. If that happens, buying now after this big decline is a good deal. But there's mafia in Italy. The mafia is a bit tricky. I don't think as an individual investor you'll ever notice them, but they contribute a lot to the unstable political system that's here in Italy, which is a bad thing. So crazy government and the mafia has a big indirect impact on the real estate here. But what does it look like if we take a more direct approach? Let's go crunch some numbers. For the average apartment here in central Rome, we pay about 500,000 euros. And the average rent for an apartment like that would be 2,000 euros according to the people we spoke to. So 2,000 euros a month, that's 24,000 a year. But then you have management fees and this and that. So let's say you're making 20,000 a year in rental income. That means 25 years to pay it off is, how many percent is that? It's like 4% return on investment, and that's too low. So as a direct investment, it's actually a pretty poor one. 55,000 euros, 160,000 euro. That's 140 square meter apartment for 480,000 euro. That's a 38 square meter apartment for 200,000 euros. They are pretty expensive though, so they're in the hundreds for sure. 229,000 for 30 square meters. It's quite pricey. You could probably buy cheap if you were lucky, but it's hard. And I'll tell you why in a little bit when we have a nice view again. Yeah, about buying cheap, it's really hard because the way to buy cheap is buying foreclosures, going to auctions, finding stuff that's been vacant for a long time and maybe restore an apartment or anything like that. But it's super hard right here because of all the heavy bureaucracy, because of the language, because of the city itself. Like imagine if you buy an apartment up here and you want to go and restore it. Finding carpenters and people to do the work and getting the stuff you need over there is almost impossible. Where are you going to park the car when you bring in your new refrigerator? I do think it's quite expensive because there's a lot of foreign investments and probably really generous banks back in the day before the crash 2008. So today's market analysis came from speaking to people living here in Rome. They aren't too happy about how things are right now. So I think it's a bit expensive and time would probably help. I think prices might go down even more, and I also think that the political climate might change, but it's going to take a long time. So in my opinion, no rush at all. But know that this is just half the market analysis. Next week, which is going to be the more interesting one, we're going to spend talking to professionals. We're going to see if we can find realtors, maybe a lawyer, and we're going to do some more investigation online. Plus, we're going to check out the beautiful countryside. I know Tuscany is another really hot real estate market in Italy. So next week will probably be even more exciting, and after next week I'll give you my complete verdict of Italy and the Italian real estate market right now. And of course, by the way, I did make time to go see the city. It's better than